Hey everybody, Matt with Phantom Outdoors. All right, so today we're going to talk fishing line. Running sporting goods store, it could be one of the biggest debates. Fishing line, how often do you change it? How often? What pound test should I use? Why should I buy the expensive line? Why shouldn't I use the cheapest fluorocarbon or mono? I'm gonna kind of break that down for you just a little bit today. This is a long discussion. This could go on for hours. And again, when it comes to this stuff, this is simply my opinion, what works for me. So by all means, not telling you if I don't mention your line brand, go buy a new line. That's not what I mean. I'm just going to kind of tell you how I treat line. So biggest thing is, and we're gonna talk about tournament bass fishing line. Okay, right now, that's kind of what I'm going into. Not just your, fish 3 or 4 times a year guy. We're going to talk about a guy that's got, new power rod, new Shimano reel, paying a $300 entry fee on a weekend tournament, or a $50 entry fee on a Thursday night tournament. Could be fishing for $300-$400, $4,000. It really doesn't matter. It's what you put into it. So one of the biggest things, and I'm going to just talk fluorocarbon today. Okay, we'll do another one for braid. One of the biggest things, I do change my line fairly often. Fluorocarbon does last longer, in my opinion, than a mono. Fluorocarbon does cast better than a mono. One of the things, Seaguar, the Yellow Label, and Vizex. This is probably the softest, most manageable fluorocarbon that I've found. I love throwing 12 pound, I crank with it, throwing a rattle trap with it on 12 to 15, 20 pound for chatterbaits, all that stuff. It's great. It's very manageable. It lasts a long time. It's strong. One of the things on this line is it has, notice I've mentioned kind of not a super hard hook set. It does have shock strength, but it has more stretch than any other fluorocarbon that I'm going to talk about today, which makes it good for a treble hook bait. It still sinks like fluorocarbon. It's sensitive like fluorocarbon, but it does have a lot more stretch than some of your higher end fluorocarbons. But all in all, it's good. If you just had to have one in I would say this is probably all out best bang for the buck line. Okay, you're going to say also it comes in 1,000-yard spools. The benefit of a 1,000-yard spool, for one, coming off the bigger spool, it has less memory. It goes on your reel a little bit better. For two, you don't fill up 2 reels and then have 40 yards left that you're forced to use for leader material or throw it away. That's the biggest thing about these little filler spools. They're great in a pinch. They're good. If you fish a lot, just buy the bulk spool. It'll last you most of the year. You end up saving, by buying 1,000 yards, you end up saving about $20 versus 5 spools of this. So it is a cost saving, and then it's just a lot easier to manage. It, like I say, way less memory coming off of this big spool. So those are those. If we're gonna say that's what I use for treble hook baits, chatterbaits, stuff like that. All right. Then you come into your, we'll say your wow lines. When you walk in a store and you see a line like a Gamma Edge, and I looked at it for years and never threw it, and it's 100 yards for 25, 27 bucks. It's expensive. Okay, that's for one spool. What this line does, it's not as manageable. Casting, honestly, it doesn't cast as well. If you want brute strength and doesn't break, hands down. I don't use or haven't used shooter. I hear it's just as good. A lot of people use shooter. Same kind of price category. Okay, these are what I'm gonna say your really high end lines. A lot of process goes into making them. They don't fail. If you're fishing for $300, $400, $500 and you've got everything right, everything ready, everything prepped, and you use a line that's going to break, ultimately you're only as good as your line. So why not just, if you're trying to be the best, have the best. Hands down, year after year, 16 pound Gamma, And I know people will say, well, 16-pound Gamma is, you could hear the arguments, as big as 18-pound is. I'm just telling you, 16-pound Gamma, a jig on trees, big rod, and I set the hook really hard. It doesn't fail. It never fails. It's strong. All this stuff is, like I said, it could just be a debate. Stop in and see us. I'd love to have to talk with you, tell you why I use these, what I use them for, or you can tell me why we use yours, and maybe we'll start stocking yours. Maybe I'll find a new brand that I like. Stop in and see us, 2673 South Live Oak Drive, Moncks Corner, South Carolina, or phantomoutdoors.com. Check out all our social media too, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're constantly posting sales and deals and every new product that comes in. Stop in, check us out. Thank you so much.